another day is here. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place of calling, baby. Be yourself, see yourself, this is a show, my people. Believe our hopes up to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, it's the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution, yeah. No respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes to build a and all the things that must be happen and not got blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better, we got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place your calling, baby. Get up, make every day count. Don't waste it, people. Do your part, play around, get where you need to. You can tune in for work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait till the time calling? It's not so we no matter even if you're at home. Just call in, baby. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place your calling, baby. Be yourself, see yourself, this is a show, my people. Believe our hopes up to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, it's the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution, yeah. No respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes to build a and all the things that must be happen and not got blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better, we got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place your calling, baby. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place your calling, baby. Be yourself, see yourself, this is a show, my people. Believe our hopes up to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, it's the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution, yeah. No respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes to build a and all the things that must be happen and not got blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better, we got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place your calling, baby. Get up, make every day count. Don't waste it, people. Do your part, play around, get where you need to. You can tune in for work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait till the time calling? It's not so we no matter even if you're at home. Just call in, baby. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place your calling, baby. Be yourself, see yourself, this is a show, my people. Believe our hopes up to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, it's the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution, yeah. No respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make
This is a WUB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. This is a Thursday morning, the 28th day of August 2025. And we welcome you to the program this morning. I'm Nuri Mohammed in the driver's seat this morning. As you know, we have certain steps that we go through before we introduce you to the main course. We bring you up to date on the weather. We give you an overview of a package prepared by our news center so that you're up to date on the latest news. And then a little bit after 7 o'clock, we'll open the phone lines and get into our conversation. We do expect guests coming in a little bit after 7:30, but the first half hour is completely yours. Let's go now to Miss Kamabach and OG. Miss Catherine Kamabach is our forecaster this morning.
Good evening, Belize. Our latest radar imagery for this evening showed the mainland was mostly dry, with a few showers and thunderstorms observed near Half Moon Key, and is gradually moving towards the mainland. An approaching tropical wave is influencing our weather. The 24-hour forecast: skies will be partly cloudy at first, becoming mostly cloudy. A few showers and thunderstorms will occur around the country, especially along the coast tonight and tomorrow. Please note that there's a strong thunderstorm watch in effect for the country. There is the potential that thunderstorm could produce heavy rainfall, intense lightning, and strong damaging winds.
The wave continues to influence our weather. The 24-hour forecast for Belize and her coastal waters calls for cloudy skies today with sunny breaks, and high temperatures are expected to reach 88 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, to 93 inland, and 82 over the mountains. Tonight, the skies will be partly cloudy to cloudy, with low temperatures of 82 along coastal areas, 73 over inland, and 68 in the higher elevations. A few outbreaks of showers and thunderstorms will continue to affect and scattered around the country through to the afternoon hours. Tonight, shower activity will be generally isolated except for southern areas where a few more can be expected. The winds will blow from the east to northeast at 5 to 15 knots, and the sea state will be light chop. A low tide will occur at 7:31 this morning, followed by a high at 1:13 in the afternoon. Another low will occur at 7 minutes past 7 tonight, and a low at 12:58 a.m. The sun rose at 5:38 and will set at 9 minutes past 6. The moon rise at 1 minute past 10 this morning and set at 9:32 tonight. The outlook for Friday and Friday night is for shower activity to be generally isolated except for southern districts where a few more can be expected. And the sargassum forecast, satellite and surface observations continue to show large amounts of sargassum over our area. As a result, coastal destinations will continue to be impacted during the next few days. And in the tropical weather outlook, tropical cyclone formation is not expected during the next 48 hours over the North Atlantic Basin. And that's your morning forecast that was prepared here at the National Meteorological Service.
The first private radio in Belize since 1989, Creme FM presents the news. Informative, accurate, current information, local, regional, and international news, weather and sports. And now, the news.
Month as the Parliament comes off recess. However, despite the completion of the mandatory 90-day waiting period for constitutional amendments, the 13th Amendment on Anti-Crime States of Emergencies is unlikely to be brought back for a second reading just yet. The Prime Minister, Honorable John Briceño, explained why.
Well, I'm not sure if we'll be ready for September. We plan to have a house meeting in September because we have said that we will do enough consultations. And I've not gotten the report of all the consultations that they've done, but we've been doing a number of consultations. And a lot of times it's much ado about nothing, and I'm not dismissing and I quickly add, I'm not dismissing the concerns of certain sectors of the society, whereby it's important for us to be able to protect the basic rights of our citizens, and we cannot afford to trample on those rights. But at the same time, we cannot afford to be able to trample on the rights of all the law-abiding citizens, especially in the pockets of the country, in particularly south side of Belize City, where sometimes a group of guys just starting to create havoc in that area. And we believe that as a government, we need to be able to have the tools, the wherewithal, to be able to step in and to be able to get in decisively and try to break that cycle at that very moment. I'm not suggesting that that is the answer. That's just a temporary solution. But the real answer has to be, what are we going to do with our young people? How can we equip them so that they can find a job? So we've been doing our best to provide more and more free education, especially in the south side of Belize City. Right now we are going to do a $30 million loan from the IDB and from Taiwan. So for us to be able to strengthen our IT vets, to be able to train, to do a lot of training, to train our young people to have a profession, to be an electrician, to be a plumber, to be able to do some construction work, So we're doing that because these very young kids that will soon be needing a job, we need to equip them with the tools for them to be able to succeed. So the 13th Amendment is not the answer, but it is something that can help us to be able to step in very quickly and end that cycle of violence that would flare up from time to time.
The Prime Minister expressed disappointment that there was not more robust participation in the public consultation that were spearheaded by respective House committee.
To be frank, I expected more people to participate, and they didn't. But because maybe it could be that the public generally supports the 13th Amendment, because if they didn't, they'd have been out there expressing their concerns. And I understand the Dickie Bradleys of the world and Arjun Maturas, and so, as being attorneys and being the guardians of four laws in the Belize, and the importance of protecting the rights of our citizens, and I respect that. But at the same time, I am hoping that they could also understand from our perspective that we have to protect their rights, but we also have to protect the rights of all these other citizens that are being terrorized by a small group of people. You will always find somebody that will find some complaint. If you have it at night, they say, "Oh, I'm too late and I never want to leave my house. I come from work late." We'll always have. So, but we just have to live with it and fair criticism, and I'm not going to get upset over it.
Another bill is still in committee, is the Occupational Safety and Health Bill, more widely known as the OSHA bill. That too is likely to be delayed, as per Minister of Labor, Honorable Florencio Marin Jr. Back in June this year, the Human Rights Commission of Belize had written the Teachers Union and the Association of School Principals on behalf of the UBAD Educational Foundation, UEF, regarding its campaign on the constitutional violation of students' rights over their hairstyles. On Tuesday, the Belize National Teachers Union, BNTU, responded and expressed its unwavering support for the campaign. It states, quote, the BNTU believes that every child deserves an educational environment that respects their identity, their culture, dignity. We are deeply concerned by reports of students being reprimanded, suspended, or otherwise penalized for wearing hairstyles that reflect their heritage or their religious beliefs. These practices are not only undermine the principle of inclusion and respect, but also perpetuates harm, stereotypes, and systemic biases. Hair is not just a fashion statement. It is a powerful symbol of cultural pride, resistance, and identity. From afros and braids to low locks and twists, these styles carry historical and social significance for many communities. Punishing students for wearing such hairstyles send a damaging message to their natural selves that their natural selves are unwelcome in academic spaces. Additionally, hair length should not be policed according to an institution's preference. End of quote. The BNTU is urging schools to review and to revise their grooming policies according to and affirm that policies must be rooted in respect and not control. It also calls on the Ministry of Education to provide clear guidance and to protect students' right to self-expression and cultural identity. The union has also commended UEF for its advocacy and leadership in this matter. UEF chairperson Yaya Marine Coleman told us that it is important to have the BNTU's support.
We requested of the minister a meeting with our team to reason through these two injustices, and UEF, with we own legal guidance, would then submit a draft for Belize National Hair Act. Now, this is very different from how things usually operate in Belize. They usually want top down. This is a one bottom up initiative, and that's why having the Belize National Teachers Union as an ally is a major, major community win for Belizean children, parents, community members, because only the people and save the people mean that people become knowledgeable and then look for credible people for work with, for advocating for we best interests. And this is primarily what injustice of identifiably African people racialized as Black people from the time of the enslavement of African people, primarily by European people, but in a shape we people had. And really, they don't just want hairstyle for Black people. They're part of our identity on the continent of Africa. It can tell the group of people you came from, the rank you have in the community, if you're not a priest, or if you're not a wife, or if you're not a midwife. And let it be clear that not only female students, male students are also discriminated against as it relates to the length of the hair. And again, they're not only Black people, but the majority of the stories where we see over a 12-year period, they're Black people. So this go for all Belizeans, but UEF mandate that for African people, racialized as Black people. And then I have another update. I called the Minister of Education today because I want to know if they get the email I sent Monday. And he answered the phone, surprisingly, but I was pleased, and he shared that he's been very busy. He had cabinet yesterday, that he did get the email and that he will respond. So that's a good thing as well.
Asked Yaya what the BNTU support will mean in practice, given that it is teachers who first cite students over a hair violation.
There's a process, a protocol in how a school is being managed. To my understanding, the Ministry of Education bears the brunt of the responsibility for what happens in schools, on school compounds, as it relates to students, principals, teachers. The Ministry of Education. I can't say it enough. That the weight of the responsibility go. Because for we taxpayers going at the national budget and a huge percentage of we money go towards education, it pays salaries, right? So if we get value for money, we have to make sure besides our children getting adequate education, which has been proven they're not, how they're treated matter, because they're not just one-time experience. Their thing left trauma with our young people. And it shows up in their life in a different ways, whether they realize it or not, that you're not enough. that you're not good enough. In the workplace, they might say that professional. Who determines what professionalism is? But those are code words used when they discriminate against one certain group of people. So, and to my knowledge, each high school have one school board. On that school board is a PTA, Parent Teachers Association representative, who should be the go-between the parents of the students who are in the school and the school board for express whatever concerns, interests, whatever they might want forward to the board as it relates to the students. Now, I have been very careful because I don't ever want any student to be targeted because one student trusts me to advocate on their behalf. And so one teacher generally won't do anything that the principal did not sanction or the school did not sanction. So I know going for one individual teacher, the BNTU said that they want a mandate from the teachers. And so I accept what BNTU say. Now, we do intend to sit with BNTU and reason further, especially before we're trusting the state will agree to have our meeting with we. Before we go in our meeting with the state, we have to be clear where we're going to send it with up on the same page. A statement is a first step and is signaling that the teachers agree with the position UEF Tech.
UEF is waiting to hear back from the principals of secondary schools, which has indicated that it will provide a response in writing shortly. However, the National Commission for Families and Children has not responded to UEF's letter for support sent to them several months ago. CREM FM and XTV has been the only media house that has been consistently reporting on UEF's advocacy campaign and protest action that it started almost a year ago.
We released the BNTU solidarity statement today. Watch and see how much media house cover it. Watch and see the wording of it, because I've already seen 3 media houses. One of them recognized UEF as the leading organization. The other 2 were then news story BNTU, because then they choose not to recognize United Black Association for Development Education Foundation under my leadership for leading and organizing this massive community national concern. So pay attention, Belizean students. Watch and see which media houses cover it and how they tell the story. Because imagine we never have a Mandela Creme Radio XTV. Would we have had coverage of the work what we do? And so when people show you who they are the first time, believe them. Watch and see how much airtime they give. Watch and see how they tell the story. And that's why who tell a story and how they tell a story matter. And trust me, I didn't watch, and I want document, because as sure as I'm a spirit having an African woman experience, and there's a creator. Our African ancestors and ancestors, they're working at the spirit realm on our behalf. This change will happen. This law will pass. Make we say much media house on cover it then. Because you can get regional and international recognition, as did Anguilla, Trinidad and Tobago, and Puerto Rico. That just for a matter of time.
Yaya is conducting her protest in front of the Ministry of Education compound without a permit because the Belize Police Department has not granted her one. On Tuesday, we reported that a student from the Anglican Cathedral College, ACC, in Belize City had been discriminated against on the first day of school due to extensions in her hair. ACC has been in the news several times for previous cases of discrimination against students for this same reason. On Wednesday, ACC issued a statement refuting that a student was sent home or was barred from returning to school due to their hairstyle or their use of hair extensions. They wrote, quote, "At no point was any student denied access to classes or instructed not to attend school," end of quote. The institution then adds, quote, "ACC maintains that its policies on attire and personal appearance are rooted in the school's recognition of everyone's God-given potential and a deep appreciation of our natural gifts. Our policies are also grounded in our commitment to inclusivity and fairness, excellence, and respect, end of quote. According to the school, it welcomes constructive dialogue, quote, but stands firm against any misrepresentation of its actions or its intentions, end of quote. However, the school policy form says differently. It sets out what part of the school's attire and personal appearance policy in the handbook is violated and adds, quote, failure to comply with this request will result in your child not, in your child not being permitted to enter the school's compound until this matter is resolved, end of quote. While the student was allowed to remain in class on Monday, the understanding was that she had to take out the extensions to be allowed to return. In September of 2024, close to 24 ACC students were sent home due to the length of their hair. The then Minister of Education, Honorable Francis Fonseca, stated that the CEO had immediately contacted the school to emphasize that while schools have the right to set certain rules, quote, the length of your hair, the style of your hair is not one of them, end of quote. Rats are a problem around the country, particularly in urban areas and especially in Belize City, where Charlie Price is king. While rats are a nuisance to most people, they are food to many predators. So when rats are fed poison, it also affects their predators, while they may also die. Sarah Mann, the director of Belize Raptor Center, which is based in San Ignacio, Cayo, explained how using poison to get rid of rats can actually attract more rats to a home and also rid of their predators who would otherwise keep the population low.
When we put rat bait around our homes, we attract in rats, actually. We might have some rats there, but it has such a strong scent that it brings in other rats, right? So I got a cute little rat here. So this little rat comes in and he eats the poison. The problem with the poison that we have in Belize, it doesn't kill the rat right away. So the rat can survive 7 to 10 days. And during this time, it actually is sick, right? And it stays where the food source is. So it technically will stay around your home to die because that's where the rat bait is. So you're keeping a sick rat around your home. These rats are more likely to carry diseases that can spread to humans because their immune systems are low, right? So that's our health part. But then if the rat wanders off, so let's say Belize City, you got a lot of these there, right? You got a lot of barn owls. So the barn owl catches this rat. Once this rat has poison in its stomach or in the liver, so you got to think the liver is what filters the toxins, right? The poison. This owl swallows the rat and it goes straight to the stomach. Owls don't have a crop like the chickens do, so they can't taste when something's off, right? So it'll go straight to the stomach and this owl will die. So what you've done is, yes, you've killed one rat, but you've also killed an owl that would eat 1,500 rats every year, right? And the stuff we have, it's an anticoagulant, right? So it causes a very slow bleed out. So their blood doesn't clot. So we actually just got a hawk recently from a national park. And hawks tend to gut their prey, right? But guess what they love? They love the liver. So what she was doing is she was catching rats in the nearby village, right? So she was hunting elsewhere and she was ingesting their livers. And over time, it bioaccumulated in her and she got sick. She ended up in our hospital. So we have an avian hospital here at the Raptor Center with a vet. And when we went to do her blood and put a catheter for fluids, her blood bled out on the table.
Mann explained that eventually rats can build resistance to poison which they can pass on to their offsprings. And that's our news package for this morning, the 28th day of August 2025. At 12 o'clock, right after the morning stew, there is an update. There's also an update at 3 o'clock and a full news broadcast at 5:15. All this on Creme Radio. Here on XTV, we bring you the entire news broadcast at 6 o'clock this evening. It's a minute after 7 o'clock. We'll take a quick break, come back, and we'll open up the lines so that we can begin the conversation for today.
Informative, accurate, current information. Crem's newscast. Local, regional, and international news. Weather and sports.
At Atlantic Bank, your convenience is our priority. Our contact center is designed to enhance your banking experience. With a wide range of customer service options, you save time and effort. You can easily call in to block or unblock your debit and credit cards, perform account inquiries, and access detailed card information. Whether you need assistance with online banking, merchant support, or general inquiries, our team is ready to help. For added convenience, if all operators are busy, you can leave your number and an operator will return your call as soon as possible to ensure you receive the support you need. Depending on your transaction type, we may need to verify your identity through a set of security questions. And remember, Atlantic Bank will never request your username or password for Atlantic Online via phone call, text, or email, ensuring your personal information remains safe and secure. Our support team is available Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in both English and Spanish. Simply dial 223-1212. This is a dedicated line for our contact center. Atlantic Bank is committed to providing you with exceptional service and the tools you need to manage your finances conveniently and securely. Take full advantage of our easy-to-use contact center services today.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
It's the Martins Community Festival 2025 going down Sunday, September 7th. Mahogany Street will be the epicenter of the fun, the excitement, the food, the entertainment, and the people. This year's Martins Fest features Britney Starr, Ernestine, Chica Ramos, Nello Playa,
You deserve it, cause anything you want, you could request it, cause you
Unlimited, Toast,
pray every morning.
Miney, Sweet Pain 3.0, Hubie, Yaz Talia, Kenny Gladden and the New Creation Band, Coconut Boy, Super G, Stig the Artist, NTR Shine, with music from Mr. Frisco, Reggae Kingpin, Tony G, DJ Dixie, Sly Boy International, DJ Buff, DJ Lala, DJ Baby, DJ Pounds, Exclusive Sounds, backed up by Hyper Sound, and hosted by Brick City. Oleander to Jasmine, the Martins Community Festival 2025, Sunday, September 7th. Sponsored by Grace Kennedy Belize Limited, Belize City Council, J&W Shopping Mart, Belize Electricity Limited, Hyper Sounds, the Honorable Anthony Mahler, and the Belize Police Department.
Amandala is now online. You can now access Amandala's midweek and weekend issues online by logging on to our website at amandala.com.bz/news and joining our membership portal today. There's 5 easy steps to get unlimited access to weekly e-paper, archive publications, and a host of other exclusive contents. Number 1, go to Amandala's website. Number 2, navigate to subscribed areas. Number 3, choose a membership level. Number 4, check out using our secured portal. Number 5, log into the members only section. Telephone numbers 501-280-4703 or 202-4477. fax us at 501-222-4702, or you could email at amandalapress@yahoo.com or amandalapress@gmail.com. Amandala, all power to the people.
Bringing people together.
Welcome back. This is WUB, Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes on a Thursday morning. My name is Nuri Mohammed in the driver's seat this morning, and we have our phone lines now open for the conversation. It is at 280-5848, and you're welcome to call in and to put in your 2 cents. As you know, the last many days have been the days of Budna. and it seems to have taken up the oxygen so that other main issues that would normally be on the front burner seem to have receded. We're not talking about the 13th Amendment, we're not talking about the OSHA bill, we're not talking about several other conflicts that we've been normally focused on because we've been taken up with this situation with Mr. Budna. I don't really want to get into the conversation simply because I think that it has been covered from so many angles, particularly here on XTV and Creme Radio. I think the conversation has been very principled and very balanced, and it has avoided extremism. But in the Facebook and in the other social media, it's a wild conversation and full of speculations, full of conjecture, full of bits and pieces, and still waiting for the establishment of facts. But we do know that there are certain facts. For example, the history of Mr. Budna and his reputation cannot be denied. No one can say, oh, this is one innocent man where they look like they just a chance. We can't say that. We cannot say that because Mr. Budna has been in the news, has been very, very exposed for him, what he is and what he does. But there's a principle here, and the principle has been driven home. I'm not sure if everybody is appreciating it, but it has been driven home that regardless to him as an individual in terms of his reputation, whether we like him or we don't like him, there is a principle as to whether or not a state can, through the means or whatever, confiscate a person from another state because that individual is wanted in their state. Usually, the way that is done by law is through a process called extradition. And usually extradition is done in a formal signing ceremony. Both countries' representative will sign that if you have a person of question that we need, the extradition treaty says that you are going to return that person to us so that they can face justice. We have that treaty with several countries. We do not have that treaty with Guatemala. So Guatemala does not have the right to ask for us to send back Mr. Mann based on any treaty. They would have to, by virtue of being neighbors and whatever, etc., they can ask for Mr. Budna to be sent back to face justice in Guatemala. But the way that we are being told that this entire process was unfolded has a lot of questions in regards to officialdom. We see the optics, we hear Mr. Budna, and we see from the optics that he is in control, he is in the custody of the Guatemalans. They have acknowledged that to our own Belize Police Department, the police force. But the bottom line is, what are the rights then that is to be rolled out for Mr. Budna? The right is that as a citizen of Belize, we are responsible to ensure, regardless to reputation and regardless to background, whether we like her or we don't like her, as a citizen according to law, we have to find out his rights and deal with his rights. Now, his rights cannot necessarily be send him back here and then ask for her in the right way, then we have send her to you. Because that sounds crazy. But clearly, if the way in which it is being rolled out that he was kidnapped is the word being used, It is said that it was by police, and we're still not sure about that because he's saying it's police based on his recording, etc., etc. But we know that somebody pick him up and carry him across to Arenal. And Jules has made very good point. By the way, the media has really given good exposure to this, a little bit extreme in some cases, but the media has done an excellent job of exposing the process and keeping a kind of a magnifying glass on the process. And that is saying to us that this man disappeared or were taken out of one constituency or one district, taken completely across the country to the Western District, and then Guatemalans, and then there's this thing about him walking on the road, and then picked up. So it is just a crazy story that is not filled with specific facts, established facts, but a lot of speculation, a lot of conjecture, a lot of it must be so because we're gonna leave piece of information here, etc., etc. But it seems as though the question with us in Belize has not really been so much of a legal question. Yes, that is going on. But it seems to me that our question was a moral question, with a sizable part of our people saying that good for him, he deserved that. Our next part of our population say, regardless to his behavior and his accusations of the past, as a citizen, we can't just make it go like that because that's not correct. Why? Because that could be me, that could be you. We could be any person in a situation where another jurisdiction, another country, says we want that person and will find ways in which to get that person. We've seen a report coming across Channel 7 last night about another individual in Toledo district that was also taken up allegedly by the Guatemalan authorities. In the case of Belize here, we cannot forget that certain individuals in our population, regardless to what they were accused of, were picked up. One Mr. Herbert and one Mr. Herchula were picked up by United States authorities and taken into the United States to face charges which the United States had on those two individuals. And it is not just one. The point I'm making is that when these things happen, you know, this is like almost a new world. Because it's almost as if things are being defined and redefined. You take, for example, Mr. Trump's decision that crime in certain cities of the United States is so out of control. It's not what necessarily the facts are saying, but his perception and his executive orders are coming out of the belief that crime is out of control in certain major cities in the United States. And he has started with Washington, D.C., that nation's capital. And he has brought federal troops, as he did in Los Angeles last year when there was this protest around the ICE picking up people and deporting them. There was a call for National Guards to go into the streets of Los Angeles. And there was a legal battle over whether he should or had the right to do that. Excuse me. Well, those judges, some of whom he had appointed, agreed that yes, you do have the right to send people into this territory. Here's a call. Welcome, caller.
Well, Nuri, good morning. I just stepped in.
Yeah.
My friend, it is profound, how would I say, when deep insight and indeed unbelievable, my friend, that a Belizean of origin has the intellect to re-establish what you call the out of the mahogany superstore. I couldn't believe it. Man, full of joy, I said to myself, kudos, long at last, you know, because originally we were providing good service, you see, until this thing with the application of economic citizenship that gave life to passport scandals in the past, you see. So, yeah, but I say we want more of such man to penetrate and eventually regain what was meant for us prior to 1964. But if I may, I may name it the Mahogany Superstore, because the indicating the best known, most approved, most important, and most satisfying. Thank you, my friend. Take care.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Torres. Yeah, so the issue around Trump, the point I was making is that what he is doing there is unprecedented. It had not been done before, except in emergency situations where the federal government, for riots and other things like that, social disorder, would send these National Guard troops into the United States cities. And the reason they don't do that is because the American system has a federal, a state, and a local apparatus in which it runs its state. So the municipals run their own affairs, even with their own police department. The state runs a kind of what you may call a statewide police force, which means all the cities there that have their own police force, but the state also has its own sheriff, they call it sheriff department, which has jurisdiction in those cities, but only with the permission of the mayors in those cities. And the federal government, who has control over the entire country, has military and police for the whole country, FBI, the Justice Department. These are federal agencies. They don't normally get involved at the state and the city level unless there is an emergency. So Mr. Trump is declaring, based on his statistics, that these cities are out of control and that he didn't rely on bolstering the local police or strengthening the state apparatus. He's brought in people which he knows he has control over as the president, the federal authority, and they're the ones that have been put inside of Washington, D.C., with now the plans, or at least the talk of it going to Baltimore and Chicago. And the point I'm making here is that these are unprecedented. And this idea that the Guatemalan can somehow take our citizen, regardless to what he was charged with, to take our citizen without going through certain very specific processes, legal processes to do that. If we don't deal with that, then we are allowing these new type of actions to take place, which are not in the old frame of reference considered legal. You're not supposed to go into anybody's state, I don't care what, unless you go through the right procedure in order for you to do that. So what Guatemala has done, in my eyes, is completely wrong internationally, and in fact, they should try somehow to reverse that. But I don't see that happening, because in fact, they're holding him there based on charges. So I can't see them say, oops, we made a mistake, we're going to send him back, and then we're going to go through some procedure to try to get him back legally. That not happen. So it's almost as if Belize is in a situation now where everybody is waiting to see exactly what will be our official position after the investigation. What will be our official position on this matter? Again, I say, we seem to be divided not over the legality of this matter, but, and I'm only going on my sense, I might not be reading it completely, and I'm not doing a nationwide census, I'm just getting the vibe from the people that I deal with. It seems to be a moral question. That man deserve what he get. You know what that man used to do? You know the thing there what that man used to do? God the work, and I know that's why God got on in that situation. We can't go down that road. If we're going to be a nation of laws, if we're going to be a system of laws, and again I say, there are contradictions of that whole idea that we are running based on laws. No, there's a lot of extrajudicial, meaning outside of the law, actions that are taking place in the world today. From the Gaza, all the way to these local circumstances. And we are being faced now with making a decision. I know you're not right, but I guess you're right. Are we going to get into that world? Or are we going to keep our mind very clearly to see what is black and what is white? This is wrong. I don't care who is wrong. We need to keep our mind very clear when it comes to that matter. Again, I'm guided by my own scriptures of the Holy Quran. The Holy Quran says, do not let your hatred of a person sway you from doing justice to that person. So I don't care if you like her or you don't like her. That's not the question. The question is, what is the just thing to do in this matter? Well, carry on, man. You hear what that boy do? You know the thing, how much thing in there, you know? Carry on. Then also you do that. Don't let your hatred of a person hold you back from doing justice to that person. That person deserves justice, whether in your eyes he's guilty. This is very important. We'll take our first break for 2 cents cam, and we'll be coming back with our guests.
You're watching WB, and this is XTV. Big respect to our sponsors, 4 Point Security. We're at Highland Estate Housing Project. Let's go find out the people in 2 cents, how they feel about living here at this community. How you feel if you live in this community here?
Actually, I feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Peaceful and calm.
That's your 2 cents?
Correct.
All right. And there, how you feel for living in this community?
Peaceful.
That's your 2 cents. So you do farming?
Yeah.
Everything?
Everything.
Well done, put down for farm already. Show me.
Plantain. Cassava.
Yeah.
Watermelon.
Okay.
The next side I got soursop.
That is it. All right. So the good thing about these homes is that you could, put your addition to it. Let's take a quick peek at how it get done. And so guys, you also have a back piece here for just the farming. All right, good project. And that the people in 2 cents.
Tired of replacing light bulbs? LEDs are what you need. LEDs last up to 30,000 hours. That's 30 times longer than incandescent bulbs, and up to 8 times longer than compact fluorescents. So less changing and less trash. Planet Earth thanks you. And the LED experts at Brothers Habet and Habet will help you find the best LED solution, with colors for every room and mood, starting as low as $6.95. You can even get LED strips for home, office, and industrial use. So say goodbye to fluorescent tubes forever. And because they use up to 90% less energy, you save money. Money you can spend on other things. So head to Brothers Habet or Habet and Habet today. You can also call, email, or Facebook us. Have a brilliant day.
En Atlantic Bank, tu comodidad es nuestra prioridad. Nuestro centro de contacto está diseñado para mejorar tu experiencia bancaria. Con una amplia gama de opciones de servicio al cliente, ahorras tiempo y esfuerzo. Puedes llamar fácilmente para bloquear o desbloquear tus tarjetas de débito y crédito, realizar consultas de cuentas y acceder a información detallada de tus tarjetas. Ya sea que necesites asistencia con la banca en línea, apoyo para comercios o consultas generales, nuestro equipo está listo para ayudarte. Para mayor comodidad, si todos los operadores están ocupados, puedes dejar tu número y un operador te devolverá la llamada lo antes posible para asegurarse de que recibas el apoyo que necesitas. Para mayor seguridad, es posible que necesitemos verificar tu identidad con un conjunto de preguntas sencillas. Recuerda, Atlantic Bank nunca solicitará tu nombre de tu usuario ni contraseña de Atlantic Online por llamada telefónica, mensaje de texto o correo electrónico, asegurando que tu información personal permanezca segura y protegida. Nuestro equipo de apoyo está disponible de lunes a viernes, de 8 a.m. a 6 p.m., en inglés y en español. Simplemente marca al 223-1212. Esta es la línea dedicada para nuestro centro de contacto. Atlantic Bank se compromete a brindarte un servicio excepcional y las herramientas que necesitas para administrar tus finanzas de manera conveniente y segura. Aprovecha al máximo nuestro servicio del centro de contacto.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Smart, bringing people together.
Welcome to Design Depot, where you'll find premium quality products from trusted brands, all in one place. Visit us today for quality products, expert service, and the brands you trust. Design Depot, all in one place.
It's the Martins Community Festival 2025, going down Sunday, September 7th. Mahogany Street will be the epicenter of the fun, the excitement, the food, the entertainment, and the people. This year's Martins Fest features Britney Starr, Ernestine, Chica Ramos, Nello Player.
You deserve it, cause anything you want, you could request it, cause you're
Unlimited. Toast.
pray every morning.
Mimey. Sweet Pain 3.0. Hubie. Yaz Talia.
Up in the tropics, I'm the hot top.
Kenny Gladden and the New Creation Band. Coconut Boy. Super G. Stig the Artist.
Every girl want me, sunny or stormy, money no.
NTR Shine. With music from Mr. Frisco, Reggae Kingpin, Tony G, DJ Dixie, Sly Boy International, DJ Buff, DJ Lala, DJ Baby, DJ Pounds, Exclusive Sounds, backed to by Hyper Sound, and hosted by Brick City. Oleander to Jasmine, the Martins Community Festival 2025, Sunday, September 7th. Sponsored by Grace Kennedy Belize Limited, Belize City Council, J&W Shopping Mart, Belize Electricity Limited, Hyper Sounds, the Honorable Anthony Mahler, and the Belize Police Department.
The biggest business event of the year is back and better than ever. The Expo Belize Marketplace 2025. Mark your calendars and join us on September 13th and 14th at the Marion Jones Sporting Complex in Belize City. Don't miss your chance to explore hundreds of local businesses showcasing the very best in local products and services. From unbeatable deals and mouth-watering food and drinks to live entertainment that'll keep you moving. The Expo Belize Marketplace has it all. Whether you're shopping, discovering what's new on the market, or just enjoying the vibes, there's definitely something for everyone. So come on out and celebrate 29 years of Belizean innovation at the Expo Belize Marketplace 2025. See you there.
World shifts to regional supply chains, Belize is poised to lead. This is where blue innovation meets green ambition, and orange creativity thrives. Join us for the Belize Investment Summit 2025, September 3rd to 5th at the Sunset Carib in San Pedro. From agribusiness to aquaculture, from renewable energy to digital services, from tourism to trade, this is the future of regional integration, and it starts here. Whether you're returning home, expanding regionally, or entering new markets, Belize welcomes you. Why Belize? Why now? Belize Investment Summit 2025. Bridging markets, building resilience. September 3rd to 5th at Sunset Carib, San Pedro. Visit investmentsummit.bz to register and be part of shaping the investment frontier.
Welcome back. This is WUB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. It's a Thursday morning. I'm in the driver's seat this morning. Nuri Muhammad is my name. And we have some guests coming in now. They are from the Optimist Club. Optimist Club. We have there, I was going to say the man with the beard, but it looked like two and ain't got beard. So the guy on the right is a good, close friend of mine for many, many years. He's Mr. Wayne Moody. He is a master teacher. He calls himself a minister of ministering yourself. And we're going to get a little bit into that today, Wayne. We also have Mr. Bernard Panton. Welcome, Mr. Panton.
Thank you, Brother Nuri.
Also
Morning,
a
my
member.
mentor.
So let me get directly into starting firstly. And firstly, welcome, gentlemen. Let's start
Thank
first
you.
with what is the Optimist Club? We'll start with you, Mr. Panton.
Okay, sure. Brother Nuri, before I start, good morning, everyone. I'd like to say that I've been watching you ever since I was a young boy,
Oh, my
hosting these
goodness.
TV shows. So it's a pleasure and honor to actually be on one of your shows now.
Oh, sir.
So thank you for having us this morning, and hats off to you, Brother Nuri. Really appreciate what you've been doing all these years.
Okay,
But
thank you.
getting into Optimist Club 501 Belize, we're a second chapter chartered in the country of Belize, of a larger organization, Optimist International. And our main mission is to provide a positive vision and future for first youths, community, and ourselves. We have a countrywide movements having directors represent regions within the country of Belize, and we spread optimism on a daily basis, just participating in daily activities with schools, institutions, and also having annual events as a club in the country of Belize. So that's pretty much who we are. And we are a non-profit organization. We were chartered in 2021. So we're in this movement for approximately 3 to 4 years now.
Well, Wayne, let me go to you. As I said, you know, we have worked together for many, many years. For the sake of posterity, make I just mention that we worked along with former general of the BDF, General Authors. We also had on that team the superintendent of the prison, Mr. Bernard Adolphus, and yourself as a young counselor, and I'm talking 28 years ago, and myself also in that on that team. But you have moved on now. You've become a teacher in your own right. And from what I've been reading from the texts and the messages that you've been sending me, you are very much into this optimism and looking at the optimum aspect of our personality and our life in general. So can you start then with what really is the objective of this optimist? Because we know when we talk about optimistic, we're usually talking upward as opposed to pessimistic. So can you help us to understand how you apply this in an organization like the Optimist Club?
Well, I want to go at the very beginning reference to my relationship with Optimist. And I was living in the States, and Ray Gongora, who was one of the founding members, reached out to me and asked me if I can donate a sewing machine for a sewing program that they did in Belize. And I said yes. With that, he connected me to Bernard, who then invited me to be a member. I was a member in the diaspora. And fast forward, the work that I do as a life coach, I end up becoming Bernard's life coach. So I've been supporting his dream. So, but Optimist continues to support the community. And like he said earlier, working with the youths or communities and ourselves. And this is a part of my journey as far as contributing to Optimist as a volunteer. So I have a volunteer membership. Whenever I can support, I come in and I support. And more recently, being back in Belize, I'm here more in person. So I'm contributing now, not just virtually, not just from a distance, but as a part of the diaspora back home. I'm actually throwing in my pound of flesh with the organization. And the fundraiser coming up, which is an annual fundraiser, and I've been a part virtually, but this is the first time I'm actually going to be on the ground in Belize to do. And, you know, we're not afraid of work. But when it comes to Optimist, it's about truly seeing the glass half full and not so much half empty. And it's all about how we see things. So, and I'm very much happy to be here this morning to support in that capacity. And
I want to dwell a little bit on that area about half full glass compared to half empty glass. Yesterday I was talking to someone and they were highlighting to me how depressed some people seem to be. Whether they are depressed by their own financial or domestic issue that they're dealing with, or just the way some people look at what's going in our society today, and they end up being very depressed. In other words, looking at their situation as a half-empty glass, as opposed to looking at what they have and appreciating as a half-full glass. So in your work, and I imagine all of this Optimist Club is kind of focusing on coaching young people about their life and looking positively. How do you apply that? And I'm not talking now just about donations and fundraising, but actually one-on-one. How do you approach this idea of infusing hope to where some people seem so hopeless?
I like the word you use, infusing hope, right? And recently I came up with an acronym for HOPE, which is helping other people evolve, you know? And honestly, transformation begins with us acknowledging where we are, being honest with where we are, taking responsibility for where we are, and where we go from there is imagine where we'd love to be. Because if I'm not aware of where I'm at, and you give me a compass, I don't even know where to go. So I have to first acknowledge where I'm at. I mean, I know, for example, our ancestors were slaves, but I'm not a slave. We have a history, but we're not our history. But we can envision where we'd love to go, and that's how we start. We at least have to acknowledge where we are, and reference to the optimism, gratitude, I know, prepares us to receive more, and rightly so. You know, we can compare ourselves with other people, but I need to be grateful for the fact that today I'm alive. I'm grateful that I'm home in Belize. I'm grateful that I can breathe fresh air. I'm grateful that I have some food. Someone might have no food, but how do you tell that person to be grateful? If there's anything we can be grateful for is the fact that we're breathing and we're still here today. The question is, what am I going to do with this time that I have? And that's about where we start, you know, acknowledging where we are. And, you know, we can look at our society today and there's so many ills. You know, many folks were telling me, why go back to Belize? Why you went back to Belize? Suppose they kill you. And I'm like, what better place to be than home? What better place to live my last quarter than in Belize? So as far as optimism, I do believe that there is hope, and there are those who might feel hopeless. And I believe that's what our young people, that's what our people, that's what our nation needs right now. And you will have hope when you have a promise that is fulfilled. But if you have a promise that has not been fulfilled, then you start feeling hopeless. And I must say, in the years of our lives, you know, you and I working together, we have always endeavored to give our young people hope. And you and I were more targeting those who were considered disenfranchised. And we always let them know that we believe in them. No matter where they've been, no matter what they've done, no matter what situation they've found themselves in, we got to tell them and we got to let them know that we believe in them, because Allah believes in them. They've been given gifts and talents and abilities, but many have been told that they're nothing. They don't have any value.
Well,
Can I?
Yeah. I want you to jump in there, because yeah. Go ahead, brother.
Definitely. So there's a thing called mentorship, right? And we're lacking mentorship in Belize, especially from a youth perspective. Now, I'm not saying that mentorship does not exist, but in the places that we need it the most, on a consistent basis, is where we want to go. And meeting a friend in Coach Moody, Wayne Moody, and also like a figure, a heroic figure. It's something different for youths in Belize. I mean, I could attest myself. The first time I met Brother Moody, the vibration that he was coming in on was different, like no other, like I've never seen before. But you realize as time goes by that your behavior and your sharing on the election now still. And this is what mentor teaches you. I mean, you could have challenge day, but I'm realize the as goes by that every day is a challenge. That is why we're alive. But out of that challenge, you have to find opportunities. Out of the half-filled glass that we're talking about, look a half-empty glass we're talking about. Look at it half-filled and be optimistic about the amount of resources and successes that you've had in life. You know, every day you count your blessings and you wake up tomorrow and you're grateful and thankful for another day. So I believe just coming back and driving it home, the mentorship is very important. And we believe in collaborating with other organizations or other individuals who has the same drive and motive we do. But we have to as a company. You can't move that, you can't move you can be brothers, fellows, and sisters, fellows. So I just want to say that Wayne Moody has inspired me a lot. And what we're pushing and echoing through optimism is mentorship. You know, Wayne Moody mentors me, I mentor other colleagues and brothers around me, and that's the way we spread optimism on a daily basis.
All right. Let me make it a little bit challenging for you by creating a scenario, and then you could tell me how do you deal with this scenario. I am a young boy. I'm 15 years old. I had to drop out of school because the circumstances in my area just did not permit me to be a regular in school. The financials was not there. Even though my mother was able to get one little bit of help to get me going, she could get some school fees, but then I still had problem with the way I dress. I never got tennis. I never got the things that I really need. So I decided to drop out of school. And I do my only hustling in the neighborhood. I don't want to get in a nothing criminal, but sometimes I sell my weed because I have to do something to make sure that I could survive. I try to stay away from police. They may pick me up one time, but they may, bruise me up a little bit, but then let me go and tell me stay out of trouble. I got 3 brothers. 2 of them they in jail, 1 dead at States. I got sisters too. I give you a scenario, Wayne and Mr. Panton, that this is a real convoluted, complicated situation when that youth stands in front of you now and you're trying to inject a sense of hope in his very complex life. Wayne is telling him, you need to first find out where you are. And he tell you, I know where I did. I did in a bad situation, yeah. I did in a situation where I feel hopeless. Because I'm not sure what happened to me. I'm 15 years old now, but I know they look down the road and see myself at 27 and 37 years old. I feel very hopeless. Now, I've been hearing about your session, so I'll come to your session now to sit down and hear what you got to tell me about this sense of hope and this sense of looking at my life as being half full. What would you say to that youth? Let's start with you, Wayne.
So before Brother Willie takes it, because I'm sure he's going to give us an entire scenario. I just want to kind of.
I don't want a long speech because as a youth, I know into speech. I don't want no long thing where you have to tell me about cow fat.
My answer and response.
I want you give me something where I make I work with. Where you give me.
Yeah, that the young boy right around the corner from my house.
Okay.
Who I see every day, who I talk to every day, and who tell me that boy, I tired of people to put me down, and I tired of not to feel that I could do what I could do because I know what I have in me. The problem that we need to address. If you meet a beggar on the street, the first thing for that boy I don't got no money. Okay, how about talking to that person in an inspiring way? Asking them, how their day is going. How about the conversation with them? Although you might not have $1 or $2 to put in that person's hand, let them feel appreciated for where they are in life, right? And that's the situation and the challenge that we have to face on a daily basis. Majority of these Johns and Joe around the corner where they go through this situation every day, they don't have the inspiration and the willpower to find that little glimpse of light and hope for push forward. So instead of trying to help with resources that you might not have yourself, I might not have $5 for myself today when I jump out and start my day. But I could sit down with this guy and ask him, stuff that will inspire him to go out and probably try find a $5 to take back home for feed the next year or 4 brother where he might not have the money. Right, but we don't do that. Many a times we kind of create a small wound into a big cut because we're digging, not realizing that you don't necessarily have to give in a tangible way by through the physical resources, but give in an intangible way, inspire, motivate, spread optimism. So I just set up that when I get up in the morning and I might be having a hard day, and after pass a hard day on to John, I could ask John how his day to go and what I could do for help he. I might give him money, but I could sit down and listen to her for 5 minutes where he's gonna get every day. He got sleep last night with the World Cup of his shoulders. I get up this morning with the World Cup of his shoulders. So how about thanking the Almighty Father for giving me another day to live? You know, what did you do that was different and positive as opposed to the negativity and the challenges that you've had? And how about focusing on that 1% glimpse of hope as opposed to the 90%, 99% chance? So I must have a responsibility to inspire and spread another place, right? It doesn't have to be a terrible help. It could be something that, you know, you just greet that person. I mean, I was at a conference just, I think 2 days ago, Good Deeds Day, and it's an international movement. They're in about 115 countries, and I was sitting in a room with representatives from Dominica, from Suriname, from St. Lucia, from Trinidad and Tobago, a lot of Caribbean countries, and there were this one guy. His name was Dennis, and he was from Trinidad and Tobago, 28 years old, and he got up and he spoke like he was a 60-year-old. The intellect and the knowledge and the wisdom, but he gets that because of his community. He gets that because of his motivation. His life isn't any different than my life in terms of the challenges and the mishaps that happen on a daily basis. But he decided to take the opportunities and turn it into life. So that's what we have to do on a daily basis, Brian. I mean, the landscape, I believe, is detrimental to youth right now. There's a lot of lacking of resources. And the reality is that the resources exist, but we just don't know how to reach and access the resources. And that's what I think as a brother in Belize, you know, we have to just start spreading more optimism, conversations, community, collaboration. And it starts as you wake up in the morning. What can you do to inspire a brother who probably doesn't have what you on a daily basis? So I hope that answers your question.
Right. I'm going to ask Wayne to give us his view of it when we come back from this break. But Wayne, what I want you to think about is that Belize, whenever a person who is trying to give advice to a person who kind of there down, so to speak, I use that symbolically, that the brother or the sister is having a struggle. And we have had that struggle, but we not have the struggle at this time. Many times where people can tell you that Belize is full belly, they tell hungry belly to keep heart. When we come back from the break, I want you to respond to that. Is this a full belly, they tell empty belly to keep heart? We'll be back.
Sure.
To earn V-Bucks, you must make purchases at any Benny's locations or its entities near you. The more you spend, the more you earn. You also get double the V-Bucks on promotional days. Multiple purchases completed in a single day cannot be combined and will be considered separately. Benny's is committed to offering you competitive prices on all your purchases. Now value is added with V-Bucks. To learn more, visit our website at www.vbucks.bz. Remember, loyalty is always rewarding with V-Bucks. Brought to you by Benny's. Quality and savings.
Let's take a journey through the core functions of the Social Security Board. It all starts with registering as an insured person, employer, or self-employed individual. Sign up for a portal account to manage your Social Security information online. Just provide accurate information and click Create. This will give you access to a range of services and benefits. Next, your contribution, along with investments and other income, are collected and distributed into 3 funds. This ensures that the SSB fund is securely utilized to support various benefit programs. The SSB is committed to providing essential benefits such as sickness, maternity, injury, and pension. These benefits are paid out to eligible individuals as a part of the Social Security coverage. We help you navigate through life's challenges with financial security. Annual surplus accumulates to grow the fund each year. This surplus is invested into various industries, contributing to the growth and development of our nation. With each passing year, the fund continues to grow due to the annual surplus and interest revenue earned from prudent investments. This surplus, along with reserves, helps to bolster the SSB fund and provide a safety net for those in need. We've arrived at the end of our journey to better understanding how the SSB works. We remain committed to serving you and building a secure future for all Belizeans.
The biggest business event of the year is back and better than ever. The Expo Belize Marketplace 2025. Mark your calendars and join us on September 13th and 14th at the Marion Jones Sporting Complex in Belize City. Don't miss your chance to explore hundreds of local businesses showcasing the very best in local products and services. From unbeatable deals and mouth-watering food and drinks to live entertainment that'll keep you moving. The Expo Belize Marketplace has it all. Whether you're shopping, discovering what's new on the market, or just enjoying the vibes, there's definitely something for everyone. So come on out and celebrate 29 years of Belizean innovation at the Expo Belize Marketplace 2025. See you there.
Whether you are a busy person or stuck in traffic or having an adverse or very demanding circumstance, tension builds up, causing you to be stressed out. Stress attacks everyone, anytime, any age. And stress is a killer. Palm City? It's best to be alive than dead. So visit Freetown Drugstore to get options to relieve stress and to relax your mind.
This time, what can I do for you today?
I'm so stressed out.
Okay, I'm saying I help you out right now. When I this daily, for 10 days, I am good after that, okay?
Okay.
Freetown Drugstore, 28 Freetown Road, where you are better off alive than dead. Freetown Drugstore, telephone 223-2876.
Welcome back. This is WUB, Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. Our guests this morning are from the Optimist Club. This is an international organization, we're being told, and this is the Belize faction of it. We have a life coach, Mr. Wayne Moody, who is a Belizean, and he's visiting Belize. He lives in the States, but he's visiting home. And we have Mr. Bernard Pantan. Mr. Bernard Pantan, who is, I guess, a life coach in training. That's what I heard from you just now, Bernard. But I want to hear now from Brother Wayne. And I asked you before the break to put it in the context that many people are very cynical when it comes to people who are bubbly and look full of hope and, hey, it's going to work out, it's all right. And so we have that old saying in Belize that full belly, they tell hungry belly, keep heart, man, keep heart, you work out for you, work out for you. So how do you deal with the cynic in these matters, Wayne?
Well, I want to first say I'm not visiting. I'm home.
Oh,
I'm not visit. I'm here. I'm here because I've given 1/3 of my life so far living in America, and the rest of my years is for the soil of Belize.
All right.
So I'm not visiting. I'm here. I relocated. That was a feat in itself.
All right.
The journey that I'm on personally, but I want to say right up front, I do not have an S on my chest. I'm not Superman. So I meet people where they are, and I will love them from right where they are. And to tell you how practical it is, I met this young man last week for the first time. We sat, and he told me his story. He lives in the village, and his last year in ACC, he was getting up at 6 to get to ACC by 8. He finishes ACC at 4. He goes to a department store and works from 4 to 8, get on a bus to get back home by 9, up until 11 to do his homework, and that's what he did in his last year at ACC. Now, what do you do? What do you say to somebody like that? I am not a millionaire. I don't have $1 million, but what I can do, I'll do. And what I'm doing is supporting him. And I'm not saying this because I want to say make a name for myself, but I'm supporting him practically the way I can while he's now at sixth form. So to the person that is out there, that is where, like you said, the story of that person that you said is real. And one thing that is most impacting for me is when someone can really, really relate to what I'm going through. Because like you said, empty belly and full belly, people need to know that you can really, really identify with them. And when it comes to identify with the youth of Belize, I can. At 14 years old, my mom's life was snuffed by a police officer. I grew up with the hate and the anger. And if it was not because of the grace of God, I would have done what any young person would have wanted to do at 14, get revenge. And when he walked out of the courthouse smiling at 14, my youngest brother, who doesn't like me to mention his name, wasn't even 3 yet. I had to come from that situation. So it's not that I'm speaking from a place of not having the experience. Where I'm at right now, I got to work my butt off in order to be surviving, in order like anybody else. But I do know this for a fact that I can speak with someone where they are. What I can give at the moment that I can give, I will give. What I won't give is an empty promise. What I won't be is another person that is telling them, hey, I'm going to do this for you, or I'm going to do this for you. Because promises that are not kept is what cause people to lose hope. Promises kept cause people to believe and have hope. So reference to that young person out there, there are many. I had the opportunity to go on the south side since I've been back, and I see people living in situations that I honestly wouldn't want a dog to live in. And to think that I have a country where there is resources and have people living those conditions, what can I do? What can I do to make a difference? And what I can do, I'll do. But I won't say that I can provide the world. What I can do, I'll do. If I meet someone and I can give them something, I will give them, because I have need as well. I got to sustain my life as well, but I can't be so focused on myself that I'm not there for somebody else. So I'm not here to save the world, but the individual that comes in my spirit that I can influence and I can serve, I will. So reference to that young person, and there are many listening, many in the neighborhood where I know you are right now, and they're going through a lot of challenges, and we know it. We know that we've seen some of these young people because you and I have worked with some of them, whether it be the Carl or whether it be the Dana, who today they're in different places because somebody believed in them and someone gave to them what they needed in the moment. So the young people out there, again, if I steal because I'm hungry, that's something, you know. But I'm not gonna be holding it over your head because you got to survive. And I'm not saying that I'm gonna say go do something that is not legal, but you got to do what you got to do. And the young person out there who goes out there and they hustle because their brothers and sisters need to go to school and they're providing for them, they're doing the best they can. The question is, as a leader, as leaders, what are we doing to alleviate this problem? Because we're either going to be a part of the problem or we're going to be a part of the solution. And where I'm at right now, I want to be a part of the solution. I endeavor to be a part of the solution. I will do what I can with what I have, and I will give as much as I can right where I'm at. But it's about being a part of the solution. So I hope I come from the place, and I know this is not really what we're here for this morning.
No,
as far as
it is what we're here for this morning, because
as far as no, what I'm saying is that I know we need to make a pitch and say there is a fundraiser that we're doing so we can get more money so we can do more of this stuff. And that's it. You know,
I wouldn't have allowed you to come here and not explain exactly what this program is about, especially when, as I said, in fact, there's now a recent statistic out in the United States which says that the United States right now is at the most depressed, collectively depressed space that country has ever been, because it had so much hope that things were going to go somewhere, and now 8 or 9 months later there's a lot of disappointment. And so this statistic is saying that depression has become almost a pandemic in some areas where people are just so frustrated with their situation. So optimism, and any group, and I would put religion in there, that comes to give you hope that as bad as it is, it's going to work out, has a very, very hard job to do that. Because most people will take it as saying, John, man, you just sell me dreams, boy. You want to finish talk to me, but when you done talk to me, I still hungry and you going some way. So there's a level of almost like you're guilty if you look like you know they suffer like me. I may want, if you suffer like me, all of we collectively they talk about how bad things are and how we cuss up the system. Yeah. But when you look like you got something and then you talk to me about have hope, there's a negative that comes out. And that's why I wanted to get both of you to look at that. Let me open up the phone lines as we continue the rest of the conversation in the event anybody would like to call in and to say their piece on this matter. The number is 280-5848. 280-5848 if you have a question for Mr. Moody or for Mr. Pantan. Let me go back now to your real reason why you wanted to be on the show today, and that is to deal with your fundraiser, which I understand from your message here is on September the 11th to the 17th, and that you will be featuring the show Makobe by our brother Ray Gongora. Here's the first call. Welcome, caller.
Good morning, brother.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, William. Good morning, Bernie.
I'm hoping that they're here.
Sparks Jr., the proverbial voice calling from the wilderness, trying to get a program that the government proposed, I would say over 5 years, near almost 10 years, to get the gang members land and get them on the farming. And the name of your program, your group is telling me maybe you are the guys that can get this program going, because I have been calling and pushing for this thing. You can tell you for how long, and I think it's a good thing. It will help. Bernie has been with hand in hand, and he has been out in the field, so he will understand what I'm saying. We have not tried everything, I think that program will work because it will give these guys will be out there, they will be getting 3 meals and they will be working. And once you start planting crops and you reaping and you see the work that you can do with your hands and what you can get done, I think it's a very good program that we need to look into. I will leave you guys with it. Nuri can explain that whole thing to you, this program. I'll leave you guys with that. Good morning, Belize.
Yeah. All right, good morning, sir. The number here is 280-5848. I'm not sure if you heard what the caller was saying. Did you?
Yeah, he's talking about a program where we can not just give someone a fish, but we can teach them to fish.
All right. So he's speaking specifically of a program we have here, excuse me, called the Leadership Intervention Unit. And that program, which started about 1.5 years ago, maybe 2 years now, had a component of taking youths back to the land. And it was supposed to be an arrangement with the Ministry of Agriculture and the group to recruit some youths out of that lifestyle, put them in a farming situation, and give them the training first, and then the financial support to make sure that they are productive. The project did not work according to plan. And this particular gentleman calls every so often to ask for an update on the plan. So he's now suggesting that maybe your group ought to take responsibility for something like this. I don't assume he's telling you take responsibility for LIU, but to maybe do a project like this. I think that's basically what he was saying. Would you like to comment on that?
Well, Brother Nuri, like I said, I came home because I want to serve. Like I said, I don't have an S on my chest. And even as I've been navigating and meeting people, there are so many people that are saying, man, we could do with some help. We could do with some help. But I want to say that in any way, shape, or form I can make a contribution, I will, with everything that I'm actually doing already. And but we need to not just talk, but we need to deliver. And in order to deliver, I need to be clear with what it is would be say might be needed of me. But I will agree that we got to go back to the land. You know, you said something earlier about the depression in America, right? But I want to highlight something that is happening in America that is actually happening here too, because more than anybody else, who's being targeted in America right now are the people of melanin. And no matter where we are in the diaspora right now, it seems like there is an onslaught on us as a people of melanin. And that's where there is a challenge even here in our country. And I'm not a racist, but we have to acknowledge where we are as a people, especially people that are black. And I know we got to go back to the earth. We got to go back to the land. We got to take care of ourselves as far as providing food for ourselves. And I want to say here, in whatever way, shape, or form, someone can reach out to me and give me an idea of what is being done and what is believed that I could do to help. And in the capacity that I have, the time, and I have the energy, I want to serve.
Good. Pantan, you want to jump in?
Yes, brother. What I was about to bridge the gap with realization, what's happening and our done and our goal, right? So here we have this annual fundraiser, Optimist Club 501 Belize. This is our 4th year. And all of this monies that we raise goes back to the youth in the country, I believe, not only the city, but on a regional appeal, where we have the directors, collaborate with existing organizations and institutions and youth air community. We've planned this area for a month now, and I'm hard on them. This isn't something to applaud. We have minimal hands, but we're burning ourselves up because we have an goal. And we're reach our final destination and have a successful fundraiser. But I'm saying now it's because the point of having individuals and care their time is something that needs to be taught. Because through that volunteerism comes opportunities as well. And I just wanted to plug that the fundraiser is September 11th and 12th in Belize, the Bliss Center for Farming Arts, 13th in Dangriga, and 15th in Belmopan. Again, all of the proceeds that are raised from the fundraiser goes back to the programs that we have on a yearly basis. Now, what we are lacking in our country is individuals who will take the lead and take the charge, right? The LIU program, I just want to plug something very quick. I lived at Fuzzy Road for all of life, probably left out there about a couple times. Lived in some great neighbors in neighborhoods in this, the Garden Kings, but I'm now back in Farmers Road. And I grew up in Farmers Road, and I saw one of my colleagues that I grew along with the other like about a year ago. He was cleaning the side for one of the areas that we have a basketball court. And I said, man, nice to see you out at the work. Though this guy is a guy who is notoriously known in the streets. So I asked him like, yo, wait opportunity for the boy that hooked me up, and I said that's good. That's really amazing. And man, keep on. It made me feel good to see him transition from where he was as it relates to his mindset and out in the streets cleaning. Fast forward 2 weeks after the man shut up and then kill her, right? In the same neighborhood. So his life that he was used to was being in all the dark crevices and the car because he don't want nowhere to hide. He have so much people that he, violently started in his days. And now the IU component got him back to life in terms of giving back and making something of himself. Why I gave this is because I believe that anybody who's trying to, well, not trying, I can't use the word try, anybody who's doing great in Belize and in our community, they always need more assistance, they need more support. So we don't have to get something new, we take what exists and just kind of mend it to work. Because any situation eventually into your house and sometimes more dung. And if certain parts or elements of the structure isn't working, that's where you need to fix it. So a great idea for youths kind of being brought back into that, doesn't have best resume say. There's way that you actually are back into society. We look at acreage after acreage that exists in Benin. How about farming communities and taking these same youth, and build relations to them outside of the environment that they're used to, outside of the dealing and the activity that exists, and create a consistent community movements and rapport among themselves, because that's what's been the youths who are telling that we ready to work, but we need to eat as well for our daily basis. Like I said, brother, I might go off for but this morning, but man wake up, never eat last night, and never eat this morning again. So how about going back to farming, where some of these crops to the market on a daily basis and others goes in household and these individuals who love. So what we need to do is have more collaborative movements where organizations themselves can collaborate with the government. And sometimes it doesn't even take the government to give us anything, it's just an endorsement. If we are willing to work on ourselves as a community, the government will it. But the problem is this, where everybody from the government, where will the government get it from if we don't have the financial resources that we need? We're rich with abundance in terms of land, the ability for farm and the type of stuff, we aren't doing it. So I just echo that we need to start working together. We need individuals in the country that needs the assistance to be there on a consistent basis, and that's what we're hoping through these organizational fundraising that we could start off by planting small seeds that will eventually be big trees. So it's landmark that we start off in Nuri, and this is our fair fundraiser. We have a cast coming from the diaspora, led by Ray Gongora, who, as Brother Buddhist, is one of our founding members, who does this every year, giving back of themselves, and they are not asking anything back in return. All they want to see is that the seeds that they're sowing will eventually become trees in the country. So that's where we are. And we want to ask everyone to support the fundraiser that I always do on our base. And this is that we've had the past 4 years.
Let's look at, in coming down to the close of our conversation, let's deal specifically with, you said the play was written by our brother Ray Gongora in Florida. This was the play that was done during the summit recently, the Diaspora Summit that was held. I think they premiered the play at that time. I might be wrong, but that's where my remembrance.
Yes.
And now you're saying it's going to be done again here in Belize next month on the 11th and the 12th, if I understand you, in Belize City.
Yes.
And then it goes on to Dangriga for the next day.
The 3rd.
And is it in Belmopan also? Is it in Belmopan also, or just Belize City and Dangriga?
On the 4th in Belmopan.
It's also Belmopan. All right. And did I hear you say, Brother Pantan, that actors like Mr. Gongra and them are coming in from the States for the show?
Yes, so here, these theatrical pieces are written and written by Gongra. We have a guest today from New York coming down, Miss Anna White, Miss Gilago, and all of these people are Belize in diaspora, right? They come
very good.
And we have our part of the cast, Neil, a well-known pants, also a part play, and we have Miss Lisa Cado and Miss Darlie Gentle, who are also part of the cast.
Yeah, part
so it's really a collaboration of Belizeans back home and Belizeans in diaspora that come together to create a theatrical play.
Yeah. How much does the play cost? How much does it cost to go in?
Right. So indeed, the tickets are $25 for general, reserve is $35, and then we also have some kind of seats at $100. That's in the city. And then in Belmopan and Riga, the prices are only $25 across the board. So that's the price. I also have the outlet to get tickets in Belize. You get from the first cake by color and the cost then the minutes. And also
somehow we're getting a little disturbance on your coming across there, brother. You're breaking up a little bit. But can you give us a phone number wherein people can call and get additional information, etc.?
Yeah. So you can reach to me at 6540.
Say that again.
They reach out to me. My number is 15407.
That's not. For some reason, you are breaking up, Brother Pantan. So I'm not hearing it clearly. What that number is. Do you know the number, Wayne? Maybe your transmission is clearer.
Okay, let me give you Bernard's number.
Okay.
So, but I want to say that the team that is actually working on this, man, they get up at 4 in the morning to rehearse virtually.
Good.
So Bernard's number is 501-615-4047. 501-615-4047.
Okay.
And,
all right, I will repeat that again before the
rehearsing
show
virtually
is
in Zoom. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
1 in California, 2 in Florida, 1 in Belize, and they're rehearsing for this play.
Yeah, that's dedication, but it's also telling us where technology is nowadays, not true? Indeed.
Yes.
All right, well, listen, let me get some final word. I'll start with you, Bernard. Just a couple of closing comments, and then we'll do the final closing with you, Brother Wayne Moody.
Sure.
Bernard?
Sure, thanks. Thank you, brother. Are you here now?
Yeah, it's just that for some reason yours is breaking up. It's not, but go ahead.
All right, I just started to tell you on XTV for having us. And one day that the work is on, And we are as an organization doing what we can, and I do believe that if we get more organization coming together and collaborating and being effective for like these, it will definitely bring home vision that we have. We know, stop thinking and getting missed opportunities because of the environment we are in, and work with what we have to be good within ourselves. So we're putting as much as we can with this fundraising and giving back our community the best we can. So we encourage everyone to do the same, and we're always willing to collaborate and to assist others that want to be a part and probably know where to start. So thanks again for having us, and we definitely want to continue the conversation on your platform as months goes by, because the fundraising work continues. So thanks again for having us, brother. And I just to plug again, I really support Mr. Mesa. It will be a theatrical day that will take place on September 11th and 12th in Belize to the Bless Center for Performing Arts, and then we go to Belmore Park and then we're the 13th and fun on 14th. Thanks.
Okay, sir. You got the final word, Mr. Moody.
Well, I want to say thank you, Nuri, for having us here, and I want to say that I'm here to serve. You and I are yet to sit down in person, and whatever there is that we can do, hey, let's do it, because we love this country and we love God, and I think that's the common denominator.
That is,
and our contribution is key. And a little side note: I am so waiting for the general to be here, because we've got more work to do, Nuri.
Yeah. Going to bring the dream team back together. All right, good. All right, thank you very much, Wayne Moody, life coach, and thank you very much, Mr. Bernard Pantan. We encourage you to, especially young people, to support the Optimist Club, and those of you who have the mentorship skill for some young people should also get involved in this. The numbers that you could use is 615-4047. Thank you very much, brothers. Good. We'll take our next break now.
Thank you.
Every moment matter with your credit card. More transactions, more chances to win cash back. You can be one of 4 monthly winners. Get a chance to win cash back with every purchase of $100 or more. For more information, visit www.atlabank.com. Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Nando's Wholesale is your market leader in Belize's wholesale industry when it comes to high-quality products at the most reasonable and competitive prices. With over 40 years in the wholesale business, Nando's Wholesale embraces the partnership of the hotel industry in Belize by providing world-renowned brands in wines, seasonings, condiments, and cleaners in industrial sizes, as well as small and large kitchen appliances and equipment. Nando's also takes pride in providing one of the quietest and most durable air conditioning systems in Belize with technical support and spare parts. Nando's Wholesale. Professional, reliable, effective, and prompt. Nando's Wholesale always delivers. Visit us at www.nandos.bz or send an email to nandos@nandos.bz. Or, even better yet, give us a call today at 222-500 or 280-8080 to speak to one of our sales representatives today.
Where you come from? It's the Martins Community Festival 2025, going down Sunday, September 7th. Mahogany Street will be the epicenter of the fun, the excitement, the food, the entertainment, and the people. This year's Martins Fest features Britney Starr, Ernestine, Chica Ramos, Nello Playa,
You deserve it, 'cause anything you want, you could request it, 'cause you
Unlimited, Toast,
every morning.
Mimey, Sweet Pain 3.0, Hubie, Yas Talia, Kenny Gladden and the New Creation Band, Coconut Boy, Super G, Stig the Artist,
Every girl want it, sunny or stormy, money no.
NTR Shine. With music from Mr. Frisco, Reggae Kingpin, Tony G, DJ Dixie, Sly Boy International, DJ Buff, DJ Lala, DJ Baby, DJ Pounds, Exclusive Sounds, backed up by Hyper Sound, and hosted by Brick City. Oleander to Jasmine, the Martins Community Festival 2025, Sunday, September 7th. Sponsored by Grace Kennedy Belize Limited, Belize City Council, J&W Shopping Mart, Belize Electricity Limited, Hyper Sounds, the Honorable Anthony Mahler, and the Belize Police Department.
The biggest business event of the year is back and better than ever. The Expo Belize Marketplace 2025. Mark your calendars and join us on September 13th and 14th at the Marion Jones Sporting Complex in Belize City. Don't miss your chance to explore hundreds of local businesses showcasing the very best in local products and services. From unbeatable deals and mouth-watering food and drinks to live entertainment that'll keep you moving. The Expo Belize Marketplace has it all. Whether you're shopping, discovering what's new on the market, or just enjoying the vibes, there's definitely something for everyone. So come on out and celebrate 29 years of Belizean innovation at the Expo Belize Marketplace 2025. See you there.
World shifts to regional supply chains, Belize is poised to lead. This is where blue innovation meets green ambition, and orange creativity thrives. Join us for the Belize Investment Summit 2025, September 3rd to 5th at the Sunset Carib in San Pedro. From agribusiness to aquaculture, from renewable energy to digital services, from tourism to trade, this is the future of regional integration, and it starts here. Whether you're returning home, expanding regionally, or entering new markets, Belize welcomes you. Why Belize? Why now? Belize Investment Summit 2025, Bridging Markets, Building Resilience, September 3rd to 5th at Sunset Carib, San Pedro. Visit investmentsummit.bz to register and be part of shaping the investment frontier.
WUB, Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. It's a Thursday morning. It's the 28th day of August 2025. And we'll keep the phone lines open now for the last part of the program. You could get in any area that you may have wanted to and couldn't get in. Our number is 2805848, and you're welcome to call in. I'd like to express my condolences to the family of Mr. Aspinall, who passed away at 92 years old just a few days ago. This was an outstanding character, very humble brother, but very deep, and a seasoned educator who has worked through the entire system for, I think, the Methodist management. But I've known him for many, many years, and just for casual conversations, Mr. Aspinall will stop you anywhere and talk, sometimes for hours. Welcome, welcome.
Educator.
Welcome, sir.
Morning.
Yeah, welcome, sir.
Is this the program with Nuri?
Yes, it is, sir.
Okay, but can I go through?
Yes, man. This is Nuri. This is Nuri. But we got feedback in the background there. I don't know if it's you.
Okay. Nuri.
Yes, sir. We're here, but you're. Yeah, you got to turn down. Yeah, what I'm saying, sir, is that you've got to turn the monitor off, that you got to turn your TV or whatever it is so that we could hear you. No, you got... yeah, you see how you're hearing the feedback? It's going to disturb the conversation.
Okay.
All right.
Can I
Yeah, go ahead now. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now I want to speak about the Mr. Budna case. No?
Okay.
It has been it was announced by several media that he was kidnapped in front of the Orange Rock police station.
Yes.
And it happens that there were two police officers in front of the station when that occurred. And Mr. Budna called the attention of those two police officers there about what was happening, and the two police officers went there to investigate. And what has been stated is that the people that were there trying to push Mr. Budna inside the vehicle declared themselves as police officers, and that is the reason why these two police officers in Orange Rock never did nothing to stop that. So that is what has been reported. But now I have heard from TV stations and radio that the compol was interviewed and asked about it, and the compol stated that he can assure the public that there was no involvement of any police from Belize. He assured that. And the Prime Minister was also called, and the Prime Minister said that his government was not also involved in that kidnapping. Anyway, if that is the truth, then why is it that the government has not called on the Guatemalan government to return back this Mr. Budna? Because it's a kidnapping. And that kidnapping, if it was not done by the government, nor the officers or the police, then it might be clear that it is Guatemalan agents. And if they're the Guatemalan agents, it is the duty and responsibility of our government to request the Guatemalan government to return back this gentleman, because it's under international law, which is not accepted. And how you call it? Kidnapping is a crime, and it's recognized worldwide that it's an offense, serious offense against human rights. So I believe that the Belizean government must have before today, tell the Guatemalan government return back this Belizean person. And if the Guatemalan refuses, then he has the right to even break diplomatic relations, and the government must take this matter, because the government wants to protect the Belizean people to the International Court of Human Rights. and let the Human Rights Commission do its investigation and everything, and let the government assure the Belizean nation that he's doing their job. They're protecting our Belizean rights, but nothing has been happened. I would like to say that not far ago, our Belizean government broke relations with the Israeli government just because they were in sympathy with what was happening against the Palestinian people. But the majority of Belizean people never benefited from it. But the break of diplomatic relations, and only two government ministers who were Arabs might have benefited, being satisfied that something has been done by our government. I'm not condemning that act, but the same way that the Belizean government broke up with Guatemala, with Israeli relations, diplomatic relations, if it has to come up to that, then our government must act to the same thing, because he has shown the first way that they can break diplomatic relations. So there are many things, and I believe that it is our government who is fully responsible, to prove that they are protecting our Belizean rights. No matter what Mr. Budna is, he's a criminal or whatever he is, but he was abducted here in Belize in front of the police station. And then if we only criticize this thing that it is wrong, and we do not find the solution, I believe that the solution is the government of Belize must reclaim this man, take him, tell the Guatemala, deliver our citizen. If you do not do it, we'll do the proper thing. But nothing is being done. That's why they go and say, we don't know nothing about it, that is not fixing the problem. We need actions. We need our government to defend our Belizean people, and they are not doing it. So that's the reason why I'm making these comments, because I hear many people criticizing the government and doing it. Yet there is a Guatemalan attorney who published in Facebook that this case must be taken to the International Court of Human Rights, and Mr. Budna will benefit with millions and millions of dollars. You see, even a Guatemalan attorney knows the way. You will tell me that in Belize we don't have someone that knows the way. What happened with the man who should defend Belizeans, the ombudsman? It's the man that should. She's the first one who has been crying, the first one to jump out and say, we have to do something to protect the Belizean rights. But he's silent, and he's the man collecting a big salary. For what? Do you see that the government is not doing its job? They must do it. They must defend any Belizean that would be kidnapped, like Mr. Budna was kidnapped. So I will rest my comment there, because if I talk a lot, nothing will be done. So it's left on you people who have a voice through the media and demand justice. Let the government must defend our people. Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you very much. That's a very important call. And he's making some very good points. He's talking about the government needs to take a stand officially on this matter. It is my understanding that the government has not made a final, conclusive statement on this matter, because it says it is resting on an investigative process, which it has left up to the police to investigate the process from the incident on Friday all the way up to the current situation. As I said, the media has put out a lot of information, a lot of stuff that has not been verified, but nonetheless, these are facts that you cannot deny. I mean, Mr. Budna is a wanted person. He was in jail in Guatemala. Mr. Budna is now in the hands of the Guatemalans, who are saying they are holding him on the basis of those charges that he had already been convicted and was serving time for. As far as they're concerned, he is a convicted felon that disappeared from their jurisdiction, came over across the border, and now, whatever means, they now have him in their hands. What the caller sounds as if he's saying, and this is a little bit above my understanding legally, if the Belize government says to the Guatemalan government, you have taken my citizen illegally, I know he owe you some jail time, but that's not the way to do it. Return him back to Belize and then ask for her in the right way. And then we could consider legally sending him back over to you. Now, we never do that all the time that we know he's there, because he has been escaped, and his escape from Guatemala was very public. It was all over the news that he escaped, which means that if you escape, you still had time that you still had to serve. Nonetheless, Mr. Budna was allowed back into our circulation. Nobody mentioned that. He was giving reports on all the media about situation that he was investigating. Kudos. He did what he was doing as a journalist. But the fact is, it did not remove the fact that he had a legal case over his head. And that at any time now, in the past or in the future, unless that is dealt with, he still remains a felon. A person that needs to spend his time for where he committed the crime. Now, the question that was put by the caller is that the government is responsible to do something about getting Mr. Budna back to Belize, because the way in which he was taken was illegal. How do we know it was illegal? Because the government has not said, yes, we legally handed him over to these people, but he's there, which means, how did he get there? He got there through some process, and the investigation supposedly will tell us how he got there. I also heard last night that there are cameras in that area that has not yet been reviewed, Treasury building and etc., that will tell who is who and what is what based on what is seen optically on these on these camera footage. That will tell us if it was police, or as the person is saying here, there's no police, it was this individual was this or that. Is a lot of complication in the case itself. And it's very difficult for us to say this is a fact when there's so many splintered ideas out there, much of them speculative ideas. But the caller is making an important point. Welcome, caller. You have just a couple of minutes to talk here, brother, because
yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
You got to make it very, very short, caller. Very, very short.
You said 1 minute, sir. You're going to take 45 seconds. I thought Central America or the whole nation had some type of database, because he was locked up about 2-3 months ago. When you give fingerprint, he has a warrant in Guatemala. You know, let's contain him. You guys don't have that type of database in Central America when somebody is on the run?
But we all knew that, caller, from the time that he escaped from Guatemala. It was made such a big news item. And many of us were asking, well, if he committed that crime, was convicted, and was in jail and escaped from the hospital while he was in custody, that means that the Budna that we were seeing around, who got himself involved in another accusation there in Cayo, that Budna was wanted by the Guatemalans. This wasn't like we don't know who that man was. He's wanted by the Guatemalan, but we didn't care about that till he get picked up over to Guatemala. Then it become an issue. It was an issue years ago when the man first escaped, and we may have had a responsibility at that time, to have said, as a good neighbor, we'll return this man over to you. But no, we entertain this man on Facebook, we entertain this man in the media, in the news cycle. We entertain this man as if nothing to deal with Guatemala. So now that Guatemala has stepped in, it's become a real issue again. Go ahead.
30 seconds. If I committed a crime in California and I get picked up in Mississippi authorities and things, and they run a fingerprint check on me, nationwide check, and say, I got a warrant, or I'm a felon wanted by the courts in California. They're going to hold me until that jurisdiction's going to pick me up. It seems like you guys don't have that type of information in Central America.
Yeah.
Anyway, sir,
all right.
You have a good day, sir.
Thank you very much, brother. Yeah, that's normally how it goes. And it goes like that internationally also. That's why you have a group called Interpol. So Interpol knew that Mr. Budna was wanted in Guatemala. But the Interpol, which we have an office of the Interpol in our police department, they did not do anything about satisfying the return of Mr. Budna. So the question is, did Guatemala ever request that he be returned to Guatemala? Because if there was an official request that he return, then what happened to that official request, government to government? And if there was not a request coming from the Guatemalan, then does that mean that the Guatemalan judiciary fell down, their justice system fell down in failing to say to Belize that, hey, that man there where they move wrong, where they report by your TV and all that kind of, that man is wanted in Guatemala and we would want him to come over and answer. You mean the Guatemalan don't know where to go on locally in Belize? They have no idea that this was the same wanted man that they want? So it's a very convoluted story, and we're making a lot of snap judgment on it like we got the facts, and we don't have the facts. This is an ongoing, very, very twisted, complex story. And as I said in my own position, they don't like or not like when it comes to Mr. Budna as a person and a personality. It's the principle of whether or not you as one jurisdiction can pick up a citizen that is a felon in your jurisdiction and escapes, because it is an escape. No matter how long and how free he walked around, he was an escapee, an escaped felon. If he was in the United States as an escaped felon, they send back and tell you in Belize, we want Mr. So-and-so who committed a crime in New York. And you've seen many people being picked up in Belize and being sent back. Why? Because we have this extradition arrangement with the United States, and we will send you back if you decide to run to Belize. Well, if you committed a crime in Guatemala, you're not Budna, you're another criminal, and you escape to Belize. Isn't it the way of the Guatemalans to say, look, John Brown de Gracia, he committed a crime and we want you to return him here? What is this about the Guatemalans knowing that this man committed a crime and wanted in Guatemala, and then you got this man floating around here and you got knowledge of him being here and not do nothing about it? So there's a lot of complications in this story. Was this a black ops move? What is a black ops? These are people who are trained militarily, and they are able to go in and do an operation and move out. That's what happened on George Street and Dean Street. That was a black ops on Plew Street and Dean Street when they killed those four brothers. That was called black ops. You move in, you do what you have to do, and you move out and nobody knows what happened. So that's what happened with Mr. Budna. That was a black ops operation. So black ops is usually done by persons who are already trained militarily or trained in security issues. But they don't wear no insignia so that you know who they are. They're not going in a police car, forget you. They're not going in a police uniform, forget you, unless they have gotten false uniforms to make you think they're not police from Belize, and they're not. So there's a lot of complications in this story, and it may take some time to investigate the process with the facts. Right now we're living in the world of speculation, and the news cycles of the world is full of speculations today, so it all goes past. But the bottom line, when it comes to law, is that facts are stubborn things. They're immovable. When you lay out facts, facts are facts. We're not dealing with facts. We deal with emotions, and we're dealing with speculation. We deal with could be, couldn't be, and all of these, and everybody is becoming a bush liar now. So I'm just saying that my principle, do not let your hatred of a person sway you from giving that person justice. That's not because I don't like Budna, or because Budna offended me or offended somebody that I know, that I want, make Guatemala. That don't know how that go. It has to be, as they say, the justice system should be a scale balanced with the eye closed. You don't know who they on it. You just know this is heavier. This is the case that should win and not this case. That's the kind of justice system we have. We should have. They say natural justice. That's the kind of justice system that we should have. But we don't got that. And not only that we don't have that in Belize, we don't have that in the world. We have people who now believe that might is right. And therefore, if Guatemala can hold on to its escape prisoner and just make we go through all the way else we go through, by next week we will forget this. Why? Because might is right. And if you don't got the wherewithal to fight might, then might remains in charge. And so if we, as the little small nation compared to the big nation, Guatemala, don't have the intestinal fortitude to say, look, I might not like Budna, but the way you take my citizen is wrong, and I need to do something to be done about that. If you don't take that kind of position there, it'll blow over like one lee breeze. It's now 5 minutes to 9 o'clock, and we are going to end the program now. We do have another commercial break, but we'll go off with that commercial break. But let's thank those who are behind the scenes. We had Anthony Grant this morning. In our MCO is Miss Alexi Bilide, and our brother is back, Mr. Cliff Lewis himself, and he brings a joy whenever we see him. Belizeans, stand strong and stand firm and do the right thing. For now, Assalamu alaikum.
At Atlantic Bank, your convenience is our priority. Our contact center is designed to enhance your banking experience. With a wide range of customer service options, you save time and effort. You can easily call in to block or unblock your debit and credit cards, perform account inquiries, and access detailed card information. Whether you need assistance with online banking, merchant support, or general inquiries, our team is ready to help. For added convenience, if all operators are busy, you can leave your number and an operator will return your call as soon as possible to ensure you receive the support you need. Depending on your transaction type, we may need to verify your identity through a set of security questions. And remember, Atlantic Bank will never request your username or password for Atlantic Online via phone call, text, or email, ensuring your personal information remains safe and secure. Our support team is available Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in both English and Spanish. Simply dial 223-1212. This is a dedicated line for our contact center. Atlantic Bank is committed to providing you with exceptional service and the tools you need to manage your finances conveniently and securely. Take full advantage of our easy-to-use contact center services today.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
It's the Martins Community Festival 2025, going down Sunday, September 7th. Mahogany Street will be the epicenter of the fun, the excitement, the food, the entertainment, and the people. This year's Martins Fest features Britney Starr, Ernestine, Chica Ramos, Nello Playa,
You deserve it, 'cause anything you want, you could request it, 'cause you
Unlimited, Toast,
pray every morning.
Mimey, Sweet Pain 3.0, Hubie, Yaz Talia.
Up in the tropics, I'm the hot top.
Kenny Gladden and the New Creation Band. Coconut Boy. Super G. Stick the Artist.
Every girl want me, sunny or stormy, money no.
NTR Shine. With music from Mr. Frisco, Reggae Kingpin, Tony G, DJ Dixie, Sly Boy International, DJ Buff, DJ Lala, DJ Baby, DJ Pounds, Exclusive Sounds, backed to by Hyper Sound, and hosted by Brick City. Oleander to Jasmine, the Martins Community Festival 2025, Sunday, September 7th. Sponsored by Grace Kennedy Belize Limited, Belize City Council, J&W Shopping Mart, Belize Electricity Limited, Hyper Sounds, the Honorable Anthony Mahler, and the Belize Police Department.
Use B-Bucks to purchase items at any Benny's location. Spend B-Bucks on items in-store after you have earned them. You can gift or transfer B-Bucks to another B-Bucks member or registered charity. To learn more, visit our website at www.bbucks.bz. Remember, loyalty is always rewarding with B-Bucks. Brought to you by Benny's. Quality and savings.
Here's how to access your contribution history on the My Social Security portal. First, go to your browser and type ssbportal.org.bz. Enter your email and password, then click Log In. Once logged in, you'll see your full portal account on the screen. On the left-hand side, you'll notice a drop-down menu for added features. Click on History. Choose Contributions. Read the disclaimer, then click Continue. You'll now see a full window displaying your contribution history. In the table, each row represents a different year. For example, let's look at the year 2024. Click on the row and a detailed breakdown will appear. This breakdown includes your employer's name, your earnings for each month and week, contribution type, the amounts paid, and that's how you can explore the new contribution feature on the My Social Security portal. It's quick, easy, and keeps your Social Security information right at your fingertips. Create your account today